Don't forget to do the subscribe, the like, subscribe, comment down below. Helps the channel. It's a little breezy out, a little chilly. It is California. So we are going to do some braiding this afternoon. So I've got my mounting block set up. I'm going to get Oreo out. We're going to do some braiding. So we're going to do that today. So hey, thanks for coming. And let me get him out. Oh, well, he's walked outside, so you can take a look at Dwende for the moment. I'm sure he'll do something silly. I'll get my supplies ready so I can get the braids done. Braids in my pocket. I got the arena ready to ride, but it's just kind of gross out. So we're going to say no, huh? We're going to say no to riding at the moment. This is Dwende. He's 2 years old. He's just a baby. I know he's huge. Hey, I know you're big, but you're a baby. Oreo, come on. Oreo, come on, honey. Come here. Come here. Come here. Good. I know. Get inside so we can get your braids done. Okay, come on. Come on. Come on. Let's bring an Oreo in. There we go. He's still looking at Dwende. I'm sure he's doing something exciting. This is Dwende. And he's a baby horse. All right, so again, that's Dwende, and this is Oreo. Oreo is 5 years old, coming 6. He is almost 6 years old. We're going to go on the other side so we can do the braids. Turn some more lighting on in here. It's kind of dark over here. So let's put this over here. Hi. All right. So we'll get set up here. Hi. We're going to get his braids done. See, they've been falling out. So we need to get these put back in. It's very difficult to ride with 2 feet of, actually might be 3 feet at this point, of mane in the way, so that's why he stays braided. There you go. Run up there and get your stuff. This one's still got some of them have still got bands in them, but not that many of them. He's got like 4 or 5 left. The rest of them have fallen out. So if you have any questions, I see somebody's commented. Hi, thanks for coming. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Helps the channel. Let me move you a little closer so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just taking his braids out because they're falling out anyway. So we're going to be redoing all of that. So we take the old ones out, brush it out, put some conditioner in, and then we put the new ones back in. Takes about 40 minutes, something like that. 40 minutes to an hour. So may not be the most riveting content, but you know, you wondered about. Hey, stop it. And then we've got baby horse. You have hay. I don't know why you seem to think you're starving. Alright, let me get Junior some hay because apparently he thinks he's starving. There. There. No, you don't need that. Alright. Alright, so Dwende now has some food. So I know, he's safe from starving because, it's touch and go there for a minute. I'm being sarcastic. Dwende is fat. So there we go. So now you can see what we're doing since Oreo has moved. And when I go to put these in, I'll get the mounting block over here so I can get these put back in. But for now, I can take them out. So anyway, so Oreo here is 5 years old. He'll be 6 in May. But technically, on January 1st, all horses become 1 year old. In the northern hemisphere, that is. Yeah, I think they do it differently in the southern hemisphere because they're opposite seasons. But anyway, so get these braids out. We'll get him cleaned up, put the new braids back in. We have a lesson tomorrow anyway, so I might as well take the time and get these braids done. See how long the mane is. Some of it's broken off, so we pull the dead hair out. Sometimes it's easier just to brush it out. Depends. These smaller ones are easier to brush out. Come here. It doesn't help when he's sticking his head way over there, huh? Sorry, guys. We'll go over here for you. And the hay bag just keeps him from getting bored and moving around too much. So that way he can stand here and eat. And like I said, it takes about 40 minutes to an hour to redo the braids. So once I get them out and get them brushed, and then we can start putting them back in. And get them all looking nice and pretty again. So how's the weather where you're at? I see we've got a polar vortex going to settle in the east coast of the U.S. We've got, looks like more rain coming here to the west coast later in the week, later next week I guess it is. This is our winter rainy season, so not unusual. We've already had 14 inches of rain, so it's been quite a plentiful year already. So I'll put the conditioner into this and I'll brush through it so it doesn't get so tangled. But he's already knocked some of these out, so a couple days ago. I'm just trying to fix them as best I can. We'll brush through it, get it all pretty and flattened, and then we'll put new braids back in. All right, this one's still got a band in it. And I saw these like braid bags or braid. Yeah, they're something you put the braids into, like a bag, kind of like the tail bags. But I think Dwende would probably rip them all off. So I thought that's probably pointless. We'll just keep braiding them like we normally do. Because Dwende seems to leave them alone for the most part. And he needs to get his mane done too. He's in a bit of a state. His mane is a mess. I know. Oh, I know. You've got cough. Got sneezy, got snot. I know. Winter season. I'll just brush this out. And once it warms up, then we can give them an actual bath and get some of the grease out of the hair and clean the hair up and put some proper conditioner in and give a nice bath, but it's too cold to do that now. It takes too long for them to dry. And he's already got a little bit of a cough, so I don't want to give him pneumonia just because he's dirty. He can stay dirty until it gets warmer. All right. Hey, Gary. Thanks for coming. Yeah, we're just trying to get the mane sorted out because you can see it's in a bit of a state. And trying to get this done and get his braids back in. We have a lesson tomorrow, so obviously it's too difficult to ride when you got that much mane in the way of your reins. So that's why he wears braids, so that he can have his nice, long, luscious hair when he lets his hair down, and then we can keep his hair up and we'll keep letting it grow otherwise. There we go. Got that all brushed out. All right, let me get the conditioner and we'll get that done. Yeah, doing good. How are you doing, Gary? I saw you commented early on Dwende. Yeah, he's quite the character, Dwende. So he's getting worked about 3 days a week. He's 2 years old, so don't pull on that. So we're not doing a lot with him. We're just kind of teaching him the basics, getting him so that he's forward, he lunges, without me having to keep, cueing him. So, oops. Yeah, so he's just learning the basics. A lot of it is just ground manners and going forward, being self-motivated to go forward so that I don't have to drive him. It's kind of the problem with Oreo. Oreo was never really forward. So we had to do a lot of extra work with him. Oh, yeah, because he can't just stuff his face. He's actually got to pull stuff out. So, yeah. Got to keep him entertained. So the slower it makes him eat, the longer he'll be entertained. Yeah. He's got quite a mess on the floor underneath it anyway, so he's got quite a bit out of it. And this is a mane and tail conditioner that I just sprayed in, and it'll give his hair some moisture and protection. Like I said, until we can get a good bath into him. We'll do that once we get to that warm 70+ degree days. We only had 2 days that were above 70 degrees, but it was only for like an hour or two, and then it cooled off too fast, so it wasn't really a good idea to bathe them if you only have a short window. So, here. Try to get this conditioner all the way through. And I keep him braided because this part up here actually likes to fall on the opposite side if it's left to its own devices. So keeping it braided keeps it all on one side. And of course, he's got a very long mane, so if it wasn't braided, it would be a bit of a mess. It would be all wind knotted up and ripped out, and it wouldn't look as nice. So we like the pretty long mane. Yes, we do. All right, let's get some more conditioner in there. Feels like we need some more underneath. Come here. Come here. There we go. All right. Yeah, so this is the stuff I'm using. It's Cantor mane and tail. Comes in a little bottle. And then I've got some different stuff for when I bathe them and It's got some oil in it that is good for moisturizing his hair, his mane and tail. But this works pretty good too. It's for, you know, a quick in-between job when I'm just trying to get his mane done. It's pretty well. All right. And of course, you know, you get loose hair comes out in between the braids being done. Okay. So then I have my bag of braids, and they're elastic bands. So I usually get 6 or 7 of them, and I put them on my fingers. And that way I can just pull them off as I'm braiding and use them. Oops, there goes one. So I usually pull like 6. Let's see, 6 or 8. Yeah, it fell into the, that's funny. It fell into the brush. Yeah, we do anywhere from 6 to 9 braids, so I'll just have an extra braid if I need it, an extra band. And then I've got this little tool here that just holds the main. Stop. I need to move the box forward. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. No. Come on up here. Come on. Come on up here. There you go. Up here. There you go. Oh, no. Just stay right there. There. Just eat your food right there. So then I just put this in so I can separate the hair that I'm going to braid, and then this will hold the rest of it off to the side. And I have to move around because he moves around, so you have to be flexible here. And then I just get my 3 sections and just braid it up. There you go. And it doesn't have to be like overly tight because it's not a show braid. It's just to keep the hair in place in between. Hi there, thanks for coming. Don't forget the thumbs up and the subscribe thing. Helps the channel out. And we do these live streams every so often. I find that it's just easy to do when I'm out here working with the horses in the barn. Yeah, so it's not windy or whatever outside. So we could just be here in the barn. We're doing stuff in the barn anyway. So I figured we might as well put the live on. I'm doing like 3 lessons a week now, so I don't have a lot of riding footage. So you're going to see a lot of shorts. I've been putting a bunch of shorts up, just little clips from the riding that I have here at the home and from Dwende. Doing stuff in the round pen. That's Dwende. If you follow me on Instagram, which is Falcao Farm Dressage, you can see a lot more. I do a bunch of reels over there on Instagram. So if you want to follow me there, that'd be awesome. You can see when I actually am doing riding here at home, I put a bunch of things, little clips together over there on reels. Sometimes I put to music, sometimes I don't. Kind of depends on the mood I'm in. But I did put it to music yesterday. So that was the riding and the lunging that I was doing with both boys yesterday. So that's Falcao Farm Dressage on Instagram. For those of you that do the Instagram, I follow quite a few dressage riders over there. That's why I have the account. That way I usually know the results of the shows in Europe before I see the the rides because of the time zone changes, you know. But it's nice to be able to follow some of the riders and comment and, you know, on shows and stuff. And see their new horses that they're bringing along. I do like to watch. I watch Clip My Horse. Clip My Horse is an app that you can download. I also watch it through their website too, but I like to watch the lower FEI classes, the aged classes, the 5, 6, 7-year-old classes, the pre-St. George, I1, I2, as well as the Grand Prix. So that way I can see the young horses that the riders are developing behind their current, you know, horse. There's always 3 or 4 horses that are being developed that are younger. So it's really nice to see the development as they bring them through, and you can see where they're at in their training, and it's kind of cool. So that's something else if you like horses and stuff. Seems to be cold. Are you guys getting the snow? It's a bit chilly here for us. I mean, it said it was 60 degrees, but the air that's blowing is pretty cold, and it's blowing well enough that it would kick up some dust if I ride, and it's a bit chilly. The air is quite cold. I initially came out in a short sleeve shirt and went right back in the house and got a long sleeve shirt. So it is chilly for us. We're also having Thule fog again, so we've been getting fog every night and morning, and that keeps the temperatures colder. Well, colder for us. It keeps it in the low 40s. And then it takes longer for it to warm up during the day. And the next week, actually, it's going to be barely hitting 60. It's going to be in the upper 50s to barely 60. Some of that's due to the fog, and some of that's due to the weather system that's coming in next. But it's our winter season. This is what the winter season does. So pretty soon we'll be complaining that it's too hot and dry. So there's always that. We'll have about 4 or 5 months of, you know, 90, 100, 110, and then we'll be kind of sick of it, and then eventually we'll get winter again. And then we get sick of it, and then we get summer again. So, you know, it's just how it goes. So this is my 3rd braid. You can see it goes pretty quick. As long as he's standing here nice and eating his hay, I can get through the braids pretty fast. Oh, big sneezy. I know he got snot. Yeah, he's had a bit of a runny nose. But he's been doing well with the clip. I just make sure that I keep him bundled up. Like if it's going to be in the 30s at night, I put a moisture wicking sheet on underneath his rain jacket, just to give him a little extra, like a sweater. So I call that his sweater, and then I call his sheet his jacket. So he gets a jacket, a light jacket, and then he gets a sweater if it's going to be pretty cold. Make sure he's comfortable. Last thing I want is him to get sick and then, you know, have to have the vet back out. Because the work that we just had done Tuesday, that was $885. So for those of you thinking about horses, the annual visit for 2 horses is $885. So they're not cheap. And a couple years ago, I had 5. And I had, you know, a couple that we had to put down, another one that died suddenly, and another one I sold. So we're just down to the 2. But yeah, I can't imagine having 5 at this point. I was like, God, all I did was clean and manage horses. I didn't do a lot of riding because there wasn't any time left in the day to ride more than 1 after getting all the chores done. So 2 is fine. We have 2, and only 1 is being ridden now. Eventually, the second one will be ridden, but just have 1 being ridden now. Yes, just you. Yeah. And you're very needy. Stop. Come here. Stop. See him pinning his ears and getting snotty with me. Yeah, that's not nice. He is threatening. He is a bit of a turd. He's not a horse for just anybody. He is a little special, huh? Yes, you are. He is quirky. He is opinionated. He's gotten better in his work. The harder the work has gotten, the better he's gotten. So he's having to focus, and he's really having to use his body in different ways and work much harder, and it's benefited him. It's been much better for him. Boredom and too much time off is the enemy with this horse. Yep, I know. You don't do time off very well. But like Dwende, he's 2 years old, so he only gets He only gets work 3 days a week, and we've just started with the 3 days a week. So he's just been worked like once or twice a month, and that's about it. But now he's going to be doing 3 days a week for a little while, and when it gets too hot this summer, he'll probably get less than that. I hate spam calls, you know? At least I get this stupid spam call and then it interrupts my stream. It's so annoying. So they're always either trying to sell you something, or they want to have a loan that you never applied for, that the paperwork's ready. All you need to do is, I didn't apply for it, leave me alone. It's just robocalls. God, it's so annoying. I hate that. I mean, I liked it in the old days when we had the rotary dial phone and you could crank call people, and you know, it was before the caller ID. You know, you had to, when we got the push button phones, then you could do *69 and find out what number called you after the fact. But I kind of liked it in the old days when you didn't have all these nuisance calls and you didn't have all these robocalls, and you know, yeah, it's nice to have your phone on you all the time now, but for some things. But God, when you get these nuisance robocalls, what a pain in the neck. I hate them. And I mark them spam, and then of course 5 minutes later there'll be another one, and then they're all different phone numbers. At least my carrier notifies me when it's potential spam, so I just block them. Very annoying. Like, robocalls are not something that I would say is a benefit to anybody. It's just spam, and it's annoying. And you can't, like, talk to tell them to take you off the list, because if you respond to it at all, then you get 10 times as many calls. It's just so annoying, because they're all computer generated robocalls. So anyway, but yeah, like I was saying, we got a lesson tomorrow afternoon, and then my trainer is going to the Netherlands for the next week or so. They're going over for a stallion sale in the Netherlands, and they're hoping to purchase a young horse. One of his clients just purchased a 2.5-year-old young horse. It's got very good breeding. The sire is actually an up-and-coming Grand Prix horse for one of the top riders, Dinja Lear. And so, yeah, it's very promising for breeding warm bloods. I have PREs, I have Spanish horses, so we are interested in other things. My trainer's funny. We were talking about, because, you know, I watch a lot of dressage, and obviously if you watch enough dressage, you start to learn the breeding on the warm bloods and whatnot, just because of all the horses that you see, and they, you know, the breeding is there, you know. So he's teasing me last week. He said, hey, if you sell Oreo and Dwende, I got a really nice, I can get you a really nice warm blood. And I said, did you say that out loud? Yeah, he's so silly. I told him, I said, I am old and I have back problems and I cannot sit on that level of suspension in the trot. If you watch warm bloods, they've got that big floating trot. Yeah, that's all fun and dandy to look at. Try sitting on that. Try having to sit and not getting bounced off the horse. You know, I find it difficult to sit on that. And I'm perfectly happy with my Spanish horses that have an easier trot to sit on. Yes, you do. Even though look at your meanie horse. Your meanie horse. He's like, yeah. Oh, now he's not. Now he's not being meanie horse. Yeah. Only got a few more to go. We're almost there. And we have to get Dwende done. Exciting. Dwende's a little harder to do because he's taller. Look at meanie horse again. He's like, eh. You can see all his personalities just with his ears. Ah, you and your ears. But I like braiding them. I like doing the braids up. Some people, they will cut the mane and keep it short for sport horse stuff. I don't like that. I bought PREs, and PREs have long mane and tail and lots of hair, and I like the hair and I like the mane and tail. And I can't imagine cutting it off, but just because it's harder to braid, I suppose. They don't want to do all the braiding, maybe. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. I like braiding. And when the hair is down, you know, look at how much hair that is. I mean, it's like 3 feet of hair. Let's see, how long is that? It's longer than my arm. That's a lot of hair. But it's pretty. I like the hair. What do you guys think? I like the hair. I like a horse that's got a full mane and a full tail. That's all natural. Because some of the horses in dressage, they have what they call a wig. So they have fake hair that's woven into the tail. It's not something I have to worry about, but apparently people do worry about that. But I don't. My horsey has plenty of hair. Yeah, we got about 2 more braids to go. And then I'll do the same with the conditioner in his tail, and then put his jacket back on because it's already getting chilly. And then he can go back to his house. And then we'll get Dwende out. And we have to move to the other side. Dwende's mane is on the opposite side. So we'll have to move the camera over. Get him done. And then we'll have to go out and get these sheep and donkeys out. I put them away during the day, so they go in the front pasture during the day because they're just becoming a nuisance. They're begging for treats all day long, and you know, and we're coming and going and opening the gate and stuff, and not having to worry about where they're at is nicer. So that's why they go in the front pasture during the day. And then at night they can go out and do whatever they want. We're not doing anything at night, so then they can go out at night. And as soon as I come out in the morning, they come running, looking for their breakfast. We should be having lambs here in a couple of weeks. Sometime in February, I think we've got lambs due. We've got the sheep all running together because having the rams out with the ewes is a deterrent for the mountain lions. So, because the rams stink and the lions don't like dirty food. So we've been running them together, which means this particular breed, they'll breed. Yeah, there's no real season. They'll breed twice a year or any time of the year. I don't like the times of the year that they choose generally, but the rams do cause quite a bit more vulnerable to the lions if the rams aren't around. So we just deal with it, deal with the extra lambs. And this year's crop of lambs are basically all sold. I have a client that has already purchased stock from me before, and he wants all my lambs this year. So I'm like, good. He said he'd take up to 10. I'm like, oh, awesome. So I had 11 last year. So that would be nice. And then he's going to take one of my younger rams from my June rams that I have left. He's going to take one of those. And then I've got a guy that's coming tomorrow that's going to take Baby, the 24 ram. He was bottle fed. That's why he has the name Baby. And he is very much a pet. And he's the guy that's interested in him has got a small flock, so it'll work really well for him. He's got an old ram, so he wanted a younger ram. And he's got 5 ewes, so it'd be perfect for Baby. All right, we're getting down to the end here, mister. Yeah, we're getting down to the end. Get this last one done up. Yeah, this one is harder to stay in because it has to be kind of loose because of where it's at in the shoulder. So it's just to keep it out from underneath the saddle. Some of the Mexican guys will shave the hair here so they don't have to have mane under the saddle, but I don't like to do that. I like to have a nice uniform mane. So like if I do take all the mane out and they're running around, you can just enjoy seeing the long hair. Oh, I heard a pop. Did you get a nice stretch? You got a pop in your neck, huh? All right, that's the last one. Yay. All right. All right, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got nine of those, and then we'll get him put away, get Dwende out, move everything over. Huh. Yep. Yeah, I know. Ugh. Thanks. Yeah, he looks really good when he's got it all done. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? He's got all the braids in. Yeah, they're really nice when they're fresh. I need to get his tail brushed out real quick. And then I'll get Dwende. And it's just a nice moisture. You know, just keep some moisture into the tail because it gets kind of coarse and needs some extra moistening in the tail as well as the mane. Get dirties on your tail. Ick, ick, ick. I've got a tail bag coming that will keep his tail inside the bag so that way it doesn't get dirty. Because I can braid the tail, but the bags that I have are like neoprene, not neoprene, sleazy. They're lycra. They're lycra, and they get caught up on the fencing outside, and then they get holes in them and rip. So these bags that are coming, hopefully, won't rip on the fencing. And then they've got little tassels at the bottom, so like if they're gonna have them on in the summer to swat at flies, it's got the tassels on it so they can use it to swat flies with the bag. Because you want to make sure they have their tails in the summer because of the flies. But if you want to keep the tail nice and clean, then the bags that have those tassels on the bottom, they're quite handy. Yes, your tail is a mess. You got poo-poos in your tail. Gross. Go. Yeah, he's got a nice big thick tail. Yeah, it'll be really nice when it's in the bag and protected. Keep it in good condition. There we go. All right, let me put him away, and then we're gonna get Dwende out. Here you go, buddy. Come on. There you go. Come on. Come on. He's probably gonna go out and roll. No, you're gonna eat? Okay. All right, Dwende. His mane is a mess. Your mane is a mess. Yes, it is. He rubs here in this doorway. So let me move this so you can see. He rubs in the doorway and does a number on his mane. Ooh, boy, I can feel that air. It's getting cold. It must be that fog rolling back in. Yeah, I know, it's cold. Right here, come here. Head down. Head down. Head down. Head down. Thank you. He has a new halter. This one has 4 knots because he has such a big head. The 2-knot halter wasn't as effective. So, yes, he has a 4-knot. Come here. Come here. Up here. All right. All right, so we got Dwende. Thanks. Yeah, he is 16 hand 1. So he is very large. Oreo is 15.1 or 15.2. I don't remember. Last time I measured him, it's like 15.1 or 15.2, something like that. So let me get him over. His mane is on this side, so I have to go over here. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put the conditioner in. Let's see if I can put this here. This a little bit. There we go. Let's see if we can get that. Well, thank you. Yeah, he's 2 years old. He's just a baby. And he is a big boy. Like I said, he's 16.1. So he's big. Yes, you are. And he is going to be shown in June at a PRE show that's going to be local. Okay, put it out. You can see his mane. Mane is a bit of a mess. Yes, it's a bit of a mess. Yes, it is. Why would that be? Why would that be? Because you're rubbing it out. But yeah, so he is going to be shown, hopefully. Well, that's again, the goal is to show him. Oops, come on, tripod. There we go. The goal is to show him in June. And it's just in hand. Just it's a PRE breed show. Don't know if I'm going to do Oreo because he'd have to be in the 6-year-old class, and his training is good enough. I don't think there's a lead change in that class, but I'm not sure. If there is, he can't do it. We haven't started lead changes yet. But if there's not, there's a possibility that I could show him. Doesn't matter. They're both geldings, so it's not really a big thing. It's not like, you know, the breeding stallions and stuff, which the majority of the horses there will be mares and breeding stallions. But I have my 2 geldings, so they go in a gelding class. And so they don't really directly compete with the stallions or the mares. They compete against, if there's another 2-year-old gelding that's there, then he'd compete against that. But basically, he would be the only gelding there, more than likely. And like I said, if I did Oreo, he'd be the only 6-year-old gelding, more than likely. The rest of them would be stallions. But yeah, you can see his mane is a bit of a hot mess because of the rubbing that he does. But, you know, it is what it is. Oh, you do racking? Oh, interesting. Thanks for coming. Yeah, they're pure Spanish horses, pure raza español. So they are pure Spanish horses, and PREs is what we call them for short. Oh, I got the things in my pocket. And he is from a breeder, Rancho El Marengo, which is down in Murrieta near Temecula in Southern California. He is very highly bred. He has exceptional breeding. He has a very high score potential for dressage, even though my trainer doesn't really like him. My trainer has warm blood, so it's kind of like a funny thing at this point. Yeah, he has very high potential. Oreo's potential for dressage is 92, and he's doing all the beginning. You know, he's doing piaffe passage in hand right now. He's like 8 lessons in. He's developing really nicely. He's doing pirouette canter. He's doing the beginnings of a quarter pirouette. At canter, he can do the walk pirouette. He hasn't formally begun the half pass at trot and canter, but I've played with it, just stinking around and training here. He does the shoulder in, the haunches in. Yes. So Oreo does pretty much all the basics that he needs in order to do the dressage stuff. He's got all the basics for the collection and whatnot. You're standing in a funny place. I need to move this. I think we're going to have to move over here so you guys can see what he's... Yeah, so you're going to make a mess. You're making a mess. You got hay in the bag. Just eat the hay. Yeah. Just eat the hay that's in the bag. Babies. So yes, he's 2 years old. He's not going to be back until October, November, sometime over the winter. He'll be back sometime over the winter. When he turns 3, he was a late foal, so late at the, late in 23, 24, Yeah, he's 26. He's a 24 full. So yeah, he's 2 years, something like that. He was born in October, but he has a March birth date because he was born so late in the year and he would be so far behind all the other colts his age. So they adjust the paperwork, which doesn't bother me because he's not for breeding anyway. Not like it would make a difference, but so he obviously has this big area kind of munched out in his mane, so I have to kind of braid around that. And he's young, so this is quite a bit of mane for a 2-year-old actually. So his father had a really thick, long mane and tail, so he should have that. That's what another thing I liked at the breeders. They all had really good mane and tails. There was none of them that had, you know, like really thin, nothing manes or tails. So that was nice. I like a lot of thick mane and tail. Black, black in PREs is actually difficult to get. He is homozygous black, so he has 2 genes for black. Oreo has 1 gene for black because he carries the cream gene. His mother was a chestnut and his father was a Perlino. They were hoping for Palomino, but he came out as smoky black, so he has 1 gene for black and cream. So the black masks the cream. So in the summer, he bleaches out. He gets a gold cast to him. It almost looks like a shimmer, like a copper color that he bleaches out in the summer. And then he gets really dark black in the winter. Whereas this one, he'll bleach a little bit, but he has 2 genes for black, so he'll stay black all the time. And only about 16% of PREs are black. So I was looking for something that there's very few of, especially here in this country too. There was even fewer of them to find good black ones. And so it took a while to find one and find one of quality. And that was Dwende. So that's Dwende's little backstory, how I got him. And actually I saw a horse that the breeder has in Spain at the, it's called the CCAB. It's like the world championship for PRE horses. You have to qualify for it and get an invite to participate in the event. And it's in Seville, Spain in November. And it's a week-long event. And they have dressage, they have vaquero, working equitation, all the different disciplines that the PRE do, as well as the breed show for the breeding stock. And then there's a bunch of horses there that are for sale. It's like a huge marketplace for PREs. And I haven't been, but I've watched videos of it the last couple of years. And someday, it's on the to-do list. And anyway, so I saw a horse that this particular breeder has, because they have a barn in Spain and they also have the barn here in the US, and they also show horses in Mexico. So they have horses here in the US, Mexico, and Spain. And, oh, he's backing away. Let me move the camera again. He's not cooperating, baby horse. So the horse in Spain, his name is Jalisco, something like that. Beautiful horse. I mean, he's won the last couple of years in Spain, so very high quality. And I saw him, and I saw it was an American breeder, so I reached out to them, and I said, hey, I saw your horse at CCAB. You know, I'm looking for XYZ, and I'm an adult amateur dressage rider, blah, blah, blah. And it was very difficult to get them to respond. And this is something that is kind of trend with the Spanish horses is they are difficult to get a hold of and to get back to you. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's a cultural thing, but I was persistent and I chased him for a couple of months, and then I told them that I liked Artista, and I had already gone and looked at Artista's breeding, and I'd looked up his videos when he was in the 4-year-old and the 5-year-old classes, so I could see him in hand and also under saddle, and he had a lot of potential for dressage. So I was like, okay, this is something I like. So I said, I like Artista. Do you have anything from Artista that will be black or something coming, you know? And they sent me a picture of a head. It's just a headshot of a foal. And I'm like, okay, he's got a big head, but what's the rest of them look like? So never did get a chance to see what the rest of them looked like until I went down there to see them in person. And he had just been weaned. That's why they didn't have any pictures, video, or anything. And which is kind of typical with the Spanish horses. They don't do much with them. It's not like the warm bloods where the foals are trained and they go and they move and they've got video and of the foal and the mare. They don't do a lot of that. They leave the PREs alone to grow up, and then they train them when they're 3, essentially. The ones that are going to be showing, they obviously learn the ground stuff. But otherwise, they're left in the field to grow up with their peers until they're 3, and then they're backed. So anyway, so I saw him, and there was another black one that was smaller, and then there was a couple of gray ones, which I didn't want gray. I've had gray. It's very difficult. I show by myself, and if you've ever had a gray horse, it's hours of grooming, and then it's constant grooming throughout the show weekend. I mean, you're just always bathing and cleaning and spot checking, and it's just too much. With a black horse, I don't even bathe them. I just run a brush over them, you know, spray in some conditioner in the mane and tail, and off we go. It's so much easier. But anyway, so the small one was cute. I liked him, but he didn't like me, and he didn't want anything to do with people. And I was like, no, if you know, I'm going to get a horse, it needs to like me. And this one was all over me, and he's like, I love you. I love you. You're my friend. And I was like, well, he likes me. He obviously has picked me as his person. So that's kind of how I got Dwende. So I got him as a weanling, and he's been with us ever since. And he's big, and he terrifies my husband. But he is just like a big Labrador. He really is a kind horse. He doesn't mean any harm. He's just big. He's just very large. And when he was not very respectful of space, which was the big struggle that I had with him for quite a while, he was scary. But now he knows his manners. He respects his space. He had some boot camp with my trainer, and we just keep him ticking over and keep him respectful and keep him learning. And he enjoys it. He likes going. He likes the training. He likes to do stuff with me. You know, so that's going to pay off later once we get him under saddle and developing for dressage. That's going to help a lot with him being interested in the work and happy to work and wanting to work. So that'll make a big difference, huh? Yeah, watch yourself. Well, we got a few of them in. 1, 2, 3. This is the area he's rubbed out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got a couple more to go. Yeah, a couple more. Looks like about 2 more. Keep backing up. And then I gotta move again. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that that the breed is predominantly grays and whatever. But like trainers like, hey, why don't you get one from Hampton Green Farm? Because he knows the people at Hampton Green Farm and they're back east. And they have all bays because I already called them. They have bay and gray, and I didn't want bay and gray. And like I said, it was very difficult to find black in this country. And I was able to find black on the West Coast, but like nobody else has got black. They have gray, Perlino, buckskin. That's like the latest thing. Everybody wants Perlino, Cremello, buckskin. So I see these rare colors. I saw those everywhere, and I'm like, I don't like them. I don't want one of those. So, you know, when you're searching for something specific, you just have to keep looking. But I told my trainer, I said, you know, they don't breed black. He goes, well, why don't you get a bay? And I said, I don't want a bay. I wanted black. I said, it took me years to find this horse and to find this level of quality. It took a long time to find this horse. And it's not something that you can just go out and get one tomorrow. They are not easily acquired. Now, there is a breeder in Mexico, I think in the Monterey area, that also breed black. They breed black PRE, and I had reached out to them through Instagram a few years ago, and they were $14,000 for a foal, and then of course the transportation from Mexico to California, which was whatever it was at the time. So it was going to be, you know, around 20,000. So, you know, it gives you a little bit of an idea as how much these horses cost. And that's just getting a baby. That's not, that's nothing. That has no training. It has nothing. It's, you just have a blank slate, and that's how much they are. They are not cheap. And if it's Perlino, if it's a foal and it's Perlino, they're 30,000 and up. I am not kidding you. That's how precious the Perlinos are. And then I've seen a couple of chestnuts, which is actually quite rare also. In the PRE is a chestnut is quite rare. And a famous breeder that I know in Spain has had a chestnut, and he's got it on his Instagram. It's a foal. And I've seen one other chestnut here. Somebody here in California has got one that they've been showing. It's not my thing. I'm not into redheads. But, you know, everybody's got their thing. You know. There's these, what are they called? Silver blacks. There's a breeder, was it? Yaguda is like, it means like ranch or farm or whatever in Spanish. Cumbria or something like that. They're on Instagram. They have these silver blacks. It's really weird, but it's a black coat with like a silverish mane. It's a silver black, I think they call it. It's quite rare, and I think it's probably rare for a reason. Like nobody would have ever bred that. I don't know. It's different. There he is. He's all done. See, he's got all his braids in now. Yeah. All right. So let's move over here so that homeboy doesn't eat my camera or eat my phone. That would be very rude. But yeah, he's done. He's all done. And yeah, much better. Much better. I like it better when the braids are done. They look much cleaner. And yeah, even though they're feral, they do look like they're cleaner and nicer looking when they've got their braids done. Huh. Yeah. So he's all done. So anybody have any questions? A little bit of trivia there on the black ones. Oh, got a little crooked. I'll put it up here. That's a little better. But yeah, anyway, so that's a little thing on the black ones. Hi. Hi. Yes, I know. But he is a baby. He says, "You're my toofies. You're my toofies. I'm a baby horse. I'm a baby horse. You gonna show your toofies? No? No, you just want to bite. You just want to bite. Yes, you're a good boy. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Yes, you are." But yeah, this is Dwende. Yeah, you can see how big he is. he's, he's, he's over my head. But yeah, he's going to be like 2 hands, 2 inches, about 2 more inches taller. So he's not done yet. Oh, too funny. So, but, all right, well, I guess I will sign off and get Oreo's jacket on for the night and go back in the house where it's warm because it's a bit chilly out here. But hey, thanks for coming and thanks for having a chat. Don't forget the thumbs up stuff and the subscribing little button down below the video. Subscribing, and you can follow the boys. Show season for us is going to start in middle of March, and hopefully my new trailer, my new living quarter trailer will be here. It says I was told it was due to arrive the end of March, so hopefully it may make, maybe it'll get here in time for the show. Otherwise, I'll be sleeping in the truck. But anyway, we do have the new trailer coming that hopefully the boys will like a lot better. Oreo hated the other trailer, and we wanted to make sure we had a trailer that fit this boy, who's enormous. He couldn't fit in the other trailer either. He couldn't turn around. It was too big. He's too big. So the new trailer will have plenty of room for everybody. So anyway, watch for that. That's coming in March. Show starts in March. We'll be showing probably April and all through May. We've got the regional adult amateur competition in June. And September we have the Horse of the Year California Dressage Society show in September. And also hopefully the USDF regionals as well. So anyway, we got a full schedule from March to June and then September. And then we start again for the winter, for the next season. So we try not to show in the summer. There are shows here in the summer in July and August. I try to avoid those at all costs because it's just too hot and I don't handle the heat. So no sense getting heat stroke for what? You're not going to ride well when you're having heat stroke. It's not very safe. All right. With that said, I'm going to check out, and I appreciate everybody coming, and I hope you enjoyed watching us braid the bangs on the 2 boys. And have a good evening. Hopefully you're not freezing with all the cold and the polar vortex and whatnot. So, see you next time.